Hi Donna, Oceana here with G3 Agency with your free website audit for Joe Diodati Masonry Co. in Burlingame, California. In this free SEO website audit provided by G3 Agency, I'm going to show you 3 to 4 things that you can do to get Joe Diodati Masonry Co. in front of the people who are searching for masonry services in the greater San Francisco area. Like I said on the phone, I don't expect anything in return for this video. I'm really trying to positively affect as many locally owned, family-owned type business owners as I can this year. It is a personal journey of mine, and as well as a way of getting my name out there and getting lots of practice for my business where I'm doing this. And I'm working with G3 on making this happen, so it's really exciting. But I want you to basically take this information and do whatever you want with it. You can take this and do it yourself. You can take it to somebody else and have them do these things if they are able to do it. That's totally fine with me. Of course, you can think of this as a business card with an oomph, in that if you're interested in these things and you do want to go forward and have me maybe help you with this stuff, or my team, then we can talk about a possible partnership, go over your goals and all that kind of stuff. But this is, the idea of this is it's a gift to you, so you can do what you will with this info. Anyways, I've taken up enough time for the intro. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. So the first thing that I always check for on a website that I audit is a big click-to-call phone number at the top. That will basically make conversions a lot easier, increase the amount of people that actually call once they land on your site. So I would take this phone number here or this phone number here, whichever one you want to get calls to primarily, and I would stick it up here real big, and so that it's easy for people to see. And then I would make it a click-to-call phone number, meaning that the almost 70% of visitors on your site that are going to be on their mobile phones can easily just click on that number and have it pull up their phone app. And that just really makes it a lot easier for people to give you a call. Now, that's really the last bit I'm going to say about getting people to do something once they're on your site. That's more of a user experience type thing, and I do know a lot about that, but this video is really to talk about how to get people to your site to begin with so that they can even have a chance to interact with you, right? So that's what I'll be focusing on for the rest of this video. So the next thing I want to point out is your content. So you've got some content here, the words on your page, the images. That's nice, but there's just not enough here. You do a good job of sticking to the topic. You're not talking about random stuff. It's not about your pet turtle or whatever. But you do want more words than this. Basically, Google thinks that that content is king, right? If you have lots of relevant words on your site about what you do and how you do it and what your customers think and all that kind of stuff, it's going to see you as basically an expert in your field, and it's going to think that you're more relevant than somebody who has less content. And then here's a fun trick I have up my sleeve, which is if I right click on an image and I click Save Image As, I can see this image was saved as walkwayfin.jfif. That's not very helpful. What you want to do is save all these images again, but this time save them as specific key phrases that people are actually typing into Google when they're looking for your services and they happen to be in your service area. And I'll go over how to find those words, as well as show you a few that I found that you might want to use in your site. I love keyword research. I'm a nerd. What can I say? So let's go. I'll show you the tool that I use first, and then I'll show you the keywords. So this is my tool, Ahrefs. I have a sign into it. I didn't make it, but I love this tool. It gives me an in-depth look into how a website's performing. So in my view, it's one thing for a website to look pretty. I've designed pretty websites, sure, but it's more important for it to actually function as a lead generation machine. So that's why these metrics are so important. So I want to show you a few that are very that stand out. So your UR score is basically it stands for your URL rating, and it's basically how trustworthy does Google think this exact page is, and that is in this case your home page. And then your DR score is your domain rating, and it's the same thing but for your entire website as a whole. And this right here is quite an imbalance. So what this tells me is that basically all of this, backlinks and referring domains, which I'll explain in a second, they're kind of all going to your home page and none of them are going to the other pages, causing this imbalance, which will cause in turn Google to basically believe that you're trying really hard to be seen on this first page, this home page, but you're not actually providing much content on the other pages, not really providing much value on those other pages. So that imbalance there is actually going to hurt you. So how you get this number up and then this number as well, you want them both higher, but you definitely want this one higher, is you want to get more backlinks and referring domains. A backlink is any link that goes from another website back to your website. And a referring domain is any website that has one of those links to your site on it. So right now you've got 15 different websites out there in the universe that are pointing to your website with links a total of 45 times. So that is kind of where you're at. And then if I take a look at the referring domains that you have, I can see what kind of referring domains you have. So you've got these 60s. This is their DR score, so their whole website trustworthy score, right? So you got, this one's good, 60, 49 is nice, 44 is great. Basically, you want to go for 30s and more. This 14's okay. It's good to have a few sprinkled in to make it, not seem like you're just trying to get a bunch of high ranking without, it just looks more natural basically to Google if you have a few of these lower ones. But you've done a good job so far with the balance here of having a lot of high ranking ones sprinkled in with a few low ranking ones. That's good. As you go forward and getting more of these, you want to make sure you continue that process, continue that pattern, and then also make sure that the websites that you're getting these from are relevant to you in some way, whether it's because you're both in the same area, whether you're both in the home services niche, anything like that. If you can draw a logical conclusion as to how they're related, then you're good. Okay, so that's backlinks. Now let's talk about keywords. So it took me a while to find these keywords. It was a little bit tricky. I'm not super familiar with the Bay Area, so I had to do a little research on that and all that kind of stuff. But this is what I came up with. It's not a very long list. It's not extremely high volume either, but it's got low enough KD, which stands for keyword difficulty, that I was like, okay, this would be worth it in my opinion. So let's go over what makes a good keyword. There are 4 things specifically I look for in a good keyword, which is, the first thing is something you do. Second is some place that you do it. Third is high volume. Fourth is low KD. So I'll explain each of those things. Something that you do and somewhere that you do it is pretty self-explanatory. You do pavers. You do service the San Jose, California area, so that's check and check. And then over here we have volume. That one's a little easier to explain. It's just how many people are searching for that volume, that key phrase on average every month. So about 60 people each month are typing exactly pavers San Jose, California. If it was even one little character difference, it would be a whole different keyword. So it has to be exactly this. 60 people are typing it in just that way on average each month. And KD stands for keyword difficulty, and it's basically on a scale from 0 to 100, how difficult does Ahrefs think it will be to get onto the first page of Google? Now, with a 1 out of 100, you would think that was like, wow, you just put that on your, you save a couple images, put a couple, put pavers San Jose, California into a few paragraphs on your site, and you're like, good to go. The next day, you're just going to show up. Unfortunately, that's not how SEO works. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and it's basically, we're trying to build credibility. We're building trust with Google, and it takes time. Google it wasn't born yesterday. It's been programmed a long time, and it kind of takes a while. It takes some steps to really trust a website. it has to sort through a lot of kind of BS websites that aren't really offering anything of value. So it takes a while for you to really build that trust with Google, but it's worth it in the long run. So these are some, you can take, welcome to take a look, pause the video if you want to take a look at these and see if they all check out. Of course you want higher volume, lower KD words, and of course they have to be something that you do in some way that you do it. So those are good. Okay, so now I'm going to take Pavers San Jose, California, and I'm going to focus on that one because this, for the next bit of the video, you would do this for each of these keywords. Okay, so for this one, when someone types this into Google, this is what they get. There's usually ads at the top. They're not showing up. Most people just scroll past them anyway. And then we have the map pack. That's spelled M-A-P-P-A-C-K. How you get into the map pack is a little different, so I'll take a pause real fast, talk about that, and then get back to the organic stuff down here. So how you get to the map pack is with citations. What you want to do is make sure that your Google My Business listing is accurate, specifically your name, address, and phone number, because you're then going to take that same information spelled exactly the same, just like with the keyword. It has to be just right. Then take it and plaster that information all over different directories like Yelp, Yext, City Star, White Pages, Yellow Pages, etc. And what that's going to do is, once again, it's going to prove to Google that you are legitimate, that you're credible. And that is going to help to basically get relevance in Google's eyes, and it's going to place you higher in the list of local results. And if you end up in the top 3, you end up on this first page, which is really nice, and it will result in some traffic coming your way, as you can see from these buttons. That's not nearly as exciting as sitting right here. So this is what's known as the #1 organic result, and it will get approximately 30% of all of the traffic that comes to this page. And so I don't know what 30% of 60 is, but that's how many people statistically each month will be clicking on this exact link. So if we click on it, we check it out, we now can look at it and go, why is it that they're showing up at the top of Google for this word and we're not? What is it that they're doing right that we could copy? What is it that they're not doing that we could do to get past them? So content. They don't have more content than you, or I don't think that they do. They might have done a better job of putting some words in here, but you know what? If you add a bunch of content, that's probably going to help you get ahead. They're not going to be difficult to beat out in that aspect. Are they saving their images properly and taking advantage of that? No, that's definitely not one of the key phrases we were looking at just a moment ago. And if I put them into this Ahrefs, we can see, oh, darn it, hold on. We can see whether or not they actually have very good scores. Sorry, I usually do this before the video starts, but I forgot. So, okay, so now we can see they've been putting quite a bit of effort into their website as a whole, but not really a whole lot of effort into this exact page that we're up against. So it's not going to be very difficult to outdo them in backlinks and referring domains either. In fact, you already have for this exact one. So you can see how it can be challenging and it might take a little while, but it's absolutely worth it and definitely worth going after if you think that you'd like to add some more of these jobs, these type of jobs from this list of keywords here. So this is my information to get back to me here, my phone number, my email address, and some key pointers for you. Thank you so much for your time. I love local business, and I really hope that this positively helps you. And I look forward to your feedback and hearing if it was helpful or not. Thank you so much, and bye.